What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and actually today is going to be the first day working on the BMW E60. As some of you guys know, I've just got a new BMW E60 520D. It's the M Sport model, and today I want to be tackling a few little jobs, but the first one will be tackling the tow bar. So if you watched my first video, you know, basically giving you a tour of the car, you'll know that my car has a tow bar on it. I won't really be using the tow bar that much, you know, if ever. I'm pretty sure on my license I can only tow up to like 750 kg. The only time that I would ever like consider towing anything is if like I was to buy a new car, either to break as parts or simply just to buy as like a project car or something. And obviously that's going to weigh more than 750 kg. So if I do want to tow like a considerable amount of weight, then I'm going to have to like do another license. So long story short then, I'm not really going to make use of the tow bar that much, so it's a bit kind of in the way. I must admit I have walked into it a few times at night and bashed my shins off it, so that's very nice when that happens. And yeah, it's just like extra weight on the car really. I mean, you know, it's only going to weigh like a few kg, but in my opinion, if there's something on the car that doesn't need to be there, then you may as well take it off. So, you know, every little bit of weight reduction means more MPG and better power to weight ratio. So yeah, so we're going to try and get that off today. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to take off the rear bumper, and then I may have to take off the rear cross member, like the steel beam that just goes across behind the rear bumper. And then luckily enough, because I actually broke a BMW E60, like I broke it down as parts, luckily enough I've actually got the old cross member off that. So if I do need to take this one off, then I'm hoping that I can just swap like my old one onto this one without the tow bar attachment. That's the plan anyway, but obviously we'll get outside and we'll try and take the rear bumper off. Okay then, so here is the tow bar in question. Now as you can see, it does poke out a fair way, so at night sometimes I've like walked by and just bashed my shin off there, and that's like just feels so nice when that happens. But yeah, as you can see, the tow bar, it's actually in a few different pieces. So you've got like the end like mounting point that's bolted to this piece here, and I believe that piece is bolted to this piece that comes down from the cross member. So I could go ahead and like unbolt it piece by piece, but I think it's just going to be a better idea just to take the rear bumper off if I can in one piece, and then just see how this is attaching to the actual car. And then obviously I've got to sort out what I'm going to do with this electrical connection as well, because whether that goes to the main wiring loom, you know, and it's all built in, or if it's going to be going to another plug, so I can just like pull that out. I'm hoping that's going to be the case, but if not, then I don't really want to be cutting any wires. I want to kind of keep it as reversible as possible, so if I do ever need to put this back on in the future, then I can do so. But yeah, we'll see how the rear bumper comes off, and then we'll get it all off. Okay then, so to actually take the bumper out, you have to remove these pieces of trim here, because I'm pretty sure there's like a couple of bolts along here. I don't know if I'm going to have to remove this plastic bit, but obviously we'll find out. But I'll start by taking all this boot section out, take these two side panels out, and then we should have better access to see where the bolts are for the bumper. Okay then, so here's how we're looking. So we've actually got the car up in the air, got it on some axle stands on the rear subframe. But I've taken the wheels off because you actually need pretty good access to these bolts right here. I'm pretty sure there's just 3, and that attach the bumper to this wheel guard or mud guard or whatever you want to call it. But I'm pretty sure there's those 3 bolts there, and then inside there is these little Torx bolts. There's one there and one there, and on the other side there's one there and one there. Now apart from that, I don't really know of anything else that's holding the bumper on, but we'll get, so yeah, so I'm going to be taking these 3 bolts off on either side and then the 4 in the boot that I just said. Alright, let's get them off. And if you are wondering what size these 3 bolts are in here, they're just 8mm sockets, so I'm just going to get the ratchet and socket on them. And these shouldn't be too difficult to take off. It's going to get into plastic. Okay then, so lied, there's not 3, there is in fact 4. There's one at the top here that holds the top of the bumper in place. Yep. Okay then, so with all of the bolts on the bottom of the bumper out, I think it's time to tackle the 4 inside the boot, and these are a T30. Right then, little update on the removal of the bumper. I was wrong, there was still more clips again. These little horrible plastic clips. Let me see if I can show you. So along the bottom of the bumper, when it connects to the, you know, you have this rear diffuser part where it connects to, I don't know what this is, I don't know if it's just like a bracket or what, but yeah, anyway, you've got 2, is it 2? Yeah, so one there, another one there, and you've also got one at the end of the bumper on either side, one there, and then one on that side. So there's four clips that you need to take off. And I think now, hopefully, I'm ready to pull the bumper off. We'll soon find out. Okay then, so the bumper is off, and here is how the rear cross member for the tow bar looks. Now, as you can see, the electrical connector is all cable tied, and that goes through that little rubber grommet there, and that's all goes into the central wiring loom. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably just disconnect this plug from here and then cable tie that up somewhere up there. But the concerning thing is that this cross member seems like it's different to a standard one. Now, this is a standard one, but it only has like 2 holes, either side, where obviously this one has 4, but these holes don't even like line up with those. You know, this distance here is a greater distance than between those 2 bolts. So I'm going to take this off, see how we're looking, see if I can at least get like 1 bolt into the top, and you know, try and secure this on some way, because I do want to have a crash bar on one way or another, because obviously it's extra support. You know, if you have a rear impact crash, then it just saves like your whole just rear end just getting smashed up basically. But yeah, let's get this off first and then see where we're at.
Shouldn't push in, just keep, well, I say it starts to bend the
Right, if I push it down and then make a bigger gap. Okay then, so basically why the my old cross member isn't fit into this is because there's actually a big chunk missing from the cross member. So this is like the chassis rails that go all the way through the car basically. Now there's actually another piece which attaches to the back of the cross member, and that has 4 bolts in, and I'm pretty sure it should go into them existing holes. So I need to try and source these 2 pieces, 1 for either side, and then I can bolt my old cross member to it. But in the meantime, I'm going to tidy everything up, put the bumper back on, and then when I do get these pieces, I'll obviously put the cross member back on. But I also need to try and tidy this up. Now I just had to angle grind the this bracket off, because like the old screws are just like rusted on and that, and it's not worth bothering with. So I just had to cut that off, and that's that, so that can be kept with the tow bar. But obviously I need to try and find somewhere to cable tie this up out the way, and I'll probably tape it up as well just to stop water and that getting in it. But yeah, I'm thinking running it along the top of this bracket and then just tucking it under there. But yeah, we'll see what happens anyway. Okay then, so I'll just show you where I have cable tied this wiring loom then. So I've just put it up out the way of where the cross member is going to bolt on, and then just along the bottom of this bracket just put a few cable ties, and I've taped up the connector there just so no water and that gets in it. But yeah, I'm just hoping that it doesn't interfere too much with when the bumper sits on, but obviously time will tell, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's get the bumper on now. Okay, so I've actually went ahead and like brushed everything down that's going to be underneath the bumper. There was like loads of like little stones and like cobwebs and things, so I've just like cleaned them out. I've actually put the bolts back in for where the cross member bolts do, just so I don't lose them and I know they're in place then. And yeah, everything's out the way, and I think it's time to just fit the bumper back on now. Okay then, so the bumper is now on. I'm just going to go over all of the screws, make sure they're all done up properly. So we have the 2 inside on this side, that one, and 2 on this side, that one, and that one. And then underneath we have these plastic clips. There's one, there's 2 along there, and then there's 1 on the other side, and then there is the 4 8mm bolts on the mud guards here. If you can see that, there's 1, 2, 3 and 4 there at the bottom. So all of them are done up on both sides, and the bumper is on nice and flush. You'll know if it's not, you know, fit on properly. You might have to give it a good smack like I just did on the other side. Obviously it's got to be flush with the rest of the bodywork. But yeah, job done pretty much. Just going to obviously put the wheels back on and then lower it down. Okay, so I just went ahead and gave the rear wheel arches a good little clean as well. Just makes sense while I've got the wheels off. Obviously I'll do the fronts at a later time. I just wanted to just clean things up a little bit. Obviously it looks a lot better. There was a lot of like huge clunks of dirt that have obviously came off, and as you can see, the drive is filthy now, so I've got to clean that off. But yeah, just thought I'd give it a nice little clean up, just to get some of that, just to get some of those chunks of dirt off. Right, let's put the wheels back on and get this thing on the ground now. Bloody hell, what's that? Stay there, don't move. No, you moved. And job done. Wheels back on. I've still got to torque them up, but I'm not going to bother showing you that. I need to find out the proper torque zone for the wheels. I don't want to like over tighten them, because if I like a breakdown, I need to change the wheel, they're just going to be way too tight to get off with a regular wrench. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like anyway without the tow bar on. It just looks so much nicer, so much cleaner, and saves a little bit of weight as well. Now obviously I still need to get a new cross member, or at least get the pieces that's missing from my old cross member, and then fit that on, because you know it's not a good idea, and I do not advise driving around without a rear crash bar on. I will be getting them as soon as possible. and then obviously I'll take the bumper off, stick all that back on. I probably won't show you because it's just pretty much going to be the same as what I've done today. So yeah, happy with the end result. Anyway, like I said, looks so much better now. And yeah, let's see how many extra MPG and power to weight ratio increases we've made. Looking good now. Okay then, so we are back in the car, and I just want to wrap this video up pretty soon. But I just want to say that if you have an E60 or if you have an interest in these cars, then consider subscribing, because I will have a whole load of more videos on this car. Like, I've got so much planned on it, like both cosmetically and like mechanically as well. Like, I've got a lot to do with regards to the engine and some suspension components as well. So yeah, a whole lot planned for it. And you know, by the time I'm done this car, like, it'll be a completely different car. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Anyway, please give this video a like if you have enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I will see you in that next video. Peace.